So we landed in Nigeria. And as we landed at the airport, there's one thing that caught me by surprise. Guess what it is? The heat. The heat in Nigeria cannot be compared to any heat I've ever experienced in my life, And there was another surprise. The food was super hot. It had a lot of pepper. You cannot eat this one with this one. Pepper leaf, what, bitter leaf is this, and then this soup, you eat it with this soup. Say, food is food, just put it in your stomach as long as it's nice. That's why I decided that I don't think I can live in Nigeria.
My question is this: South Africans, is there no traffic in South Africa? Like, don't you guys experience traffic? Hello, you welcome to my channel. I'm your baby girl. You got a Nigerian? Hello guys, you welcome to my channel. I'm your girl.
People like this lady, instead of you to
you welcome to my channel. So this adorable Sanebo in South Africa. Hello Africa, you welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Just Cheesy. So in this video is a South African brother who has shared his experience whilst in Nigeria. As you all know, it has always been Nigerians sharing their experiences in South Africa, but this time a South African brother has come out to share his experience, like from the moment he took off from South Africa to Nigeria. The truth is this: all that this South African brother said about Nigeria is nothing but the truth. Now, I've noticed several times that South Africans don't like eating pepperish food, but we Nigerians, we love pepper. Like, we love pepper so much. Like I said in my previous video, when you cook and there is no enough pepper in that food, trust me, typical Nigerians won't eat that food. Like we love it hot. Like, we like eating it hot. Like in Nigeria, when you give birth to a baby and the baby gets to 6 months, right? Then you begin to introduce food to that little baby, right? Now, when your baby gets to 6 months or 7 months or 8 months, like, it depends. I don't know if you're getting, especially, like, okay, let me say from 6 months. Yes, from 6 months you begin to introduce food like okra soup. Yes, that's the food that you start with. Okra soup or ogbono soup, because it's slimy. I don't know if you are getting it. But most people do not like to start with egusi soup, because most times it's not always good to start with egusi soup, right? Because most babies react to it. So you start with okra soup because it's very slimy, so they won't find it difficult to swallow. I don't know if you are getting it. Now remember, this food is the food that adults eat. So as you are eating, when you dip your finger into the soup, you put it in the baby's mouth and the baby will lick it. So as the baby is growing, the baby will get used to eating pepperish food. So when you hear that Nigerians eat too much pepper, that's like, we are used to it. We are used to it. When I come to your house and the food that you serve me doesn't have enough pepper in it, I won't eat, because I'll feel like throwing up. I won't eat. So Nigerians love pepper so much, but I think South Africans, I've said it in my previous video, but somebody was like, no, South Africans also eat soup, also eat pepper. South Africans don't like much pepper. Probably they eat pepper, but not as much as Nigerians do, right? So guys, I would like you to please kindly sit back and enjoy this lovely video, and I will react on it afterwards.
My name is Pasika Jane Abase, and I'm a South African. So today I'll be making you a video and then telling you of my experience as a South African in Nigeria. We've been seeing a lot of people maybe posting videos, especially Nigerians, about their experience in South Africa, their culture shock and all that. So I said, okay, let me also make a video, because I've not seen any South African giving a perspective of their experience in Nigeria. So to make the long story short, I went to Nigeria in 2016. I think it was about October. When I went there, it was a church conference and I decided to go to Nigeria. And then I was still a student, a final year student, if I still remember well. And at TUT, University of Technology in Pretoria. And in October, I went there. So I want to start first by telling you that if you want to go to Nigeria and South Africa, from South Africa to Nigeria, you have to get a visa. It's not like Botswana, there's other countries, Zimbabwe, and Namibia, where you can just go, maybe you just present your passport. No, you have to get a visa and you pay for the visa. And I paid about 3,000 rand, I think, or somewhere there, or 2.8, 2.9. for the visa. That's how much I paid for the visa. And then I also had to buy a flight ticket. So when we went there, we used SAA, and then we paid about 6,000, maybe 800 somewhere there for a return ticket, meaning to go and come back. I would say maybe to go was about 3.5, maybe coming back 3.5, something like that, you know. So yes, I bought my visa, bought my ticket, and then went to Nigeria. But then there was one thing that happened, you know. We knew that when we get there, the hotel was already booked for us, or I would say a B&B, whatever it is, you know. But that place where we slept, I would say maybe a hotel, was already booked for us when we traveled to that place. So I just had to have money, you know, to buy my own food and all those kind of stuff. So guess how much I had? I had only about 350 in my account, you know, in my South African account. Remember, then I was a student, didn't have a lot of money. So I only had about 350 and about 100 rand as cash, you know, meaning in total I had about 450 rand going to Nigeria. That I thought, okay, this is gonna cover for my food. Remember, and then the food, we went there for a week, so it had to cover the food for that week, you know. So we landed in Nigeria, and as we landed at the airport, there's one thing that caught me by surprise. Guess what it is? The heat. The heat in Nigeria cannot be compared to any heat I've ever experienced in my life, you know. So Nigeria was very hot, As soon as I got off the flight and I entered the airport, there was this heat that just hit me. I said, Lord, will I be able to survive in this place for a week? You know, that's one thing. It was very hot. Nigeria was very hot. That was my experience. Even when it's raining, it was still hot, you know. In the rain, it was still hot. So like there, I'm not sure if it was that season then or not, but then they say it's a bit colder. But they said nothing. Those who know South Africa said nothing compared to the cold in South Africa. You can see now I'm also wearing a jacket because it's cold where I am. I'm currently living in Cape Town, you know. So it was very, very hot. That was one thing that I experienced as I got to the airport, and we were there at the airport waiting for someone, you know, and then they came, and then they had to buy a SIM card for us and all those things so that you can use our phone in a foreign country, you know. So he asked us if we had any money, you know, and I had that 900 rand, you know. So I gave him the 100 rand, and I tried to use my card. I gave him my card. He said my card was not working. I tried to use my card. My card was not working, you know, in a foreign country, because I didn't report to my bank in South Africa when I left that I'm gonna go to another country and I needed to use my card there. So there was a problem, you know. Yeah, so I didn't inform my bank that I'm going to a foreign country, so my card didn't work there. Now I had to rely on 100 rand for the whole week. So I gave the person to go and change the money for us. Guess what? I think South African rand is about 1 to 25, meaning 1 rand is about 25 naira. So with that 100 rand, the person was able to buy a SIM card for me, buy data for me, and give me the change, you know, from my money. And guess what happened? And then we went, and then as we went, he took us to a restaurant. We got food, and there was another surprise. The food was super hot. It had a lot of pepper. You know, because for me, I was hungry and I like you know. So what happened is that I ate my food. The other people that I was with, we went to the conference with, they couldn't finish their food. But I tried my best to try and finish, you know. I tried my best to finish because I was very, very hungry, because you know the food they give in a flight, it doesn't do anything to your stomach. So I tried to eat, and then they give you water. You know, Nigerians, they eat there and then they have a glass of water because of the pepper. That's why we don't drink water when we eat, because we don't eat the pepper, or if we eat it, not a lot like they do in Nigeria. So I think the meat was like jollof rice with some beef or meat or something like that, or goat meat, I don't know, but it was red meat, you know. So that was my experience with food. So we went to the hotel, and my another experience is that it was very hot. You could not sleep without an aircon in Nigeria. So the aircon was on, and then it was at least making the room cool, and then we slept there. It was great. We could sleep because of the aircon, you know. So in the morning we wake up, you know, obviously we're there for a week, and then we go to church, and then we had to use transportation. They came to pick us up, but as we got used to things, then we started to want to experience the Nigerian transportation system. So we started to use KK, you know, that 3-wheel car. You know, we don't have a lot of them in South Africa. Maybe in a city you can see 1 or 2, you see. So, and also they have bikes, but I didn't use the bike. We also don't have that in South Africa, like maybe people transporting people with bikes, you know. So we use KK, and then sometimes they dropped us at church, and all that, and they booked a taxi for us to drop us at the hotel at church and stuff like that. So that's what happened. So the food, I said, was very hot. And another thing is that, guess what happened? I could survive the whole week with that 100 rand. I'm not sure in naira how much was it that time, maybe 2,500 or 3,000 naira. I'm not sure how much it was, but I could survive for the whole week with that 100 rand. I bought food and drink Fanta. They like Fanta and malt in Nigeria. Fanta and malts. You see, Olga. So that's what happened. I could buy Fanta malt, buy food, rice and stew and all that. So, and another thing also at the end, the last day we had a gala dinner. We had to experience Nigerian food. There was a lot of them. They'll tell you that you cannot eat this one with this one. For us, South African food is food. You can eat it anything if you want. They'll tell you, no, you cannot eat swallow with this. You cannot eat this one with this one. Pepper leaf, what, bitter leaf is this, and then this soup. You eat it with this soup. Say, food is food. Just put it in your stomach as long as it's nice. For me personally, I like Nigerian food, even though I don't like to eat it every day, because after that week I missed South Africa, I missed pub, I missed our South African food, and all that. So that's what happened. You see, so but once in a while, living here in South Africa, I sometimes visit a Nigerian restaurant to just buy maybe some swallow and egusi, and then all that. You see, so that's what happens, and then. Yes, I could spend the whole week with that 100 rand and eat from that 100 rand. But remember, I was only buying food for myself, maybe, and one of my brothers, maybe, and all that, And maybe that was only during the day. But at night, most of the time, it's either we'll buy food or they will bring food for us, at the hotel. You see, so that's what happened. So it was only during the day, but for the whole week, in South Africa, it's gonna be very difficult for you to do that, depending on the area where you are and how much the food is. Maybe you could eat it for 2 or 3 days and then it's finished, but I could survive. Remember, I bought SIM card, I bought airtime with that money, and I could still survive. So I spoke of the weather, I spoke of the food and the currency. The other thing is the people. The people were very welcoming, for us coming from South Africa, they welcome very well, And then another thing is the traffic in Nigeria is crazy. If you want to go to a place and maybe it's going to take you 20 minutes to go there, you must leave 2 hours before, because you're going to spend time on traffic. Beep, 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 beep. And it's noisy. Some people don't follow the rules of the road, and all that. So you just have to leave early. I remember now when we're going back to the airport, that's what happened. I think, let's say our flight was about 10 o'clock at night. We left 10 o'clock at night, but we had to leave, I don't know, around 6 or 7 to go into the airport. And the airport is not far from where we are. By the way, we were in Lagos, Ikeja, And when it comes to the development, obviously, some parts are not developed, but some parts of Lagos, especially where we went for the gala dinner, was a nice place. I think they say it's Banana what Island or what. I'm not sure about that. It was still in Lagos, Nigeria, But the other part was, not so developed, but that other side was very, very nice. It was the only problem for me obviously was the heat in Nigeria. That's why I decided that I don't think I can live in Nigeria, not because of the country or anything, but because of that heat, So and another thing with the heat is that it's hot and also it's humid. That's where the problem is. For us in South Africa, can get hot in South Africa, but at least the air is dry, you can breathe well, like it's not so uncomfortable. Maybe for me as a South, I'm not used to that kind of weather. Yeah.
Guys, welcome back. The truth is this: Nigerians are so welcoming. Like you all heard it from this South African brother, right? Nigerians are very, like, they are so welcoming. Once they see that you are a visitor, you are a guest, a foreigner, oh my goodness, like the way you will be treated, the way you will be treated. Honestly speaking, if you don't take time, you may not even remember going back to your home country. Nigerians are so amazing, like they are amazing people. Then he also said about weather in Nigeria. Nigeria is a very hot country. Like I remember those days that sometimes it may even be raining and the weather will still be hot, like you just be sweating. So that's what that one is true, that Nigeria is very hot. Then I'm through this video, I'm able to know that there's no bike in South Africa. Like I never knew about it. I never knew about it. But in Nigeria, there is bike because of, I think, because of the traffic. So yes, in Nigeria we have bikes. I don't know if you're getting it. So with bikes, you can use it to beat traffic just to meet up to your appointment or wherever. I don't know if you're getting it. Then he also said about traffic. Then my question is this: South Africans, is there no traffic in South Africa? Like, don't you guys experience traffic? Because we, because I think because of the population in Nigeria, like almost everyone has cars, almost everybody has cars. So I think because of that, that's why there is lots of traffic in Nigeria, but not just everywhere in Nigeria, especially in Lagos. I don't know if you're getting, because of the population in Lagos. So there is always traffic. There is traffic in Lagos. So as for that one, it's true. So thank you guys for drawing the curtain with me. I still remain your girl, Just Cheesy. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. And please, if you haven't subscribed to my backup channel, I'm begging you in God's name to please subscribe to my backup channel. Please just hit the link in the description box and it will take you directly to my channel. And please subscribe. I beg you. Thank you so much for always being here for your girl. I still remain your girl, Just Cheesy. And this is me saying, Ngiakutanda. I love you.